As you recall in the previous training video, the auto filter feature filtered in or out records that we wanted to see or not see in our database, and the advanced filter feature that we're going to be covering here does the same thing, except it allows for more complex conditions or criteria. But we'll keep it simple. Now before we can go ahead and apply the advanced filter, first of all we have to have a database to apply it to, and there we go. Second of all, you have to set up a mini criteria database. That's easy to do. Just go ahead and select the column labels from your database, copy them, paste them over to the right hand side like I did here, or anywhere, but I pasted mine to the right. And then below that you can see that I set up my conditions or criteria for the homes that I'm looking for, a 3-bedroom and 2.5 bath. Now to go ahead and apply that to the database here by using the advanced filter feature, go ahead and click anywhere within the database, come up here, click on the data tab, go to the sort and filter group, click on the advanced button, which is the advanced filter, and then because Excel can detect my database right off the bat, it selects it automatically. If it didn't do that for you, then go ahead and click the List Range Collapsible Dialog Box button. So it collapses the window. Go ahead and click and drag and select your range. Be sure to include the column labels because in order for this to work, it's got to look at the labels within the database and match them over against the criteria database. So when it sees bedrooms to bedrooms, it finds 3. It'll come down here and find the 3 bedrooms and apply the filter accordingly. Hit enter to pop back open that window, and then it says, okay, where's your criteria database or the range? Go ahead and click on its collapsible dialog box button. Select, of course, let me go over, all the labels for the mini criteria database and including the first row down below that contains your criteria. Hit enter, pop it back open, and then it says, okay, when I filter this, do you want me to filter it in its place here, the data within the same place the database is? If not, you can copy the results into another location without overriding your database here, which I like. Then it says, okay, where do you want to copy it to? Click on its collapsible dialog box button, click in a cell, and any cell that is empty, but keep in mind when it dumps or copies the results over here, it's not going to dump it all in that cell. It's going to start in that cell, and it's going to expand over to the right and down. So I've got plenty of room over here and below it. Going to go ahead and hit enter to pop that back open. And then finally, you got the option to check the box for unique records only. In other words, if my results are going to produce duplicates, like let's say there's like 6, 7, or 20 addresses that are exactly the same with the same square footage, bedrooms and everything, do I need to see all of them, or do I just need to see one of all those duplicates? If I just want to see one out of many duplicates, then go ahead and check unique records only. But that's not going to matter in my database, so I'll leave it unchecked and click OK, and there we go. It found 2 records from my database. Now if I want to do that again, let me go ahead and delete the results here. And let's say I'm looking for either 3 bedrooms or 5 bedrooms. Let me go ahead and delete the baths. And I type 5 down below there. Well, I need to go ahead and update my advanced filter feature. Let me come back and click anywhere within the database. And I do that because when I come back up here and click on the advanced, it automatically selects it because I'm in it. In any case, it didn't change any of my ranges here for the list range, the criteria. Well, I'm going to have to change it. Click on it to collapse it. And I need to include that extra row below. Let me go over and hit enter to pop it back open and then copy that. Now it's got it from I6 through 06. That's fine. I'll just click OK and there we go. So it brought me back either 3 bedrooms or 5 bedrooms. Pretty cool. Now you can imagine how tedious this can be by coming up here, clicking on Advanced, and applying that over and over again every time you change the criteria. Wouldn't it be easier if we could go ahead and record all our steps here and put them into buttons where we could go ahead and just update the criteria here, the conditions, click on the button and boom, it dumps the data here, then click on another button and boom, it deletes it, wipes it out. And we can just use those buttons back and forth instead of having to come up here every time and clicking on the Advanced button to implement the Advanced Filter feature. Well, to do that, we're going to use macros. And this is going to be your first introduction to it. We'll cover macros a little bit more in detail in a later training video, but in essence, that's what a macro is. It's just recording all your steps and putting it either into a shortcut key. You can assign it to a shortcut key like Alt F if it's available, or you can assign it to a button, so you don't have to repeat those same steps over and over again. So to do this, what I need to do is I need to go ahead and turn on the recorder. To turn on the recorder, so Excel can watch everything that I do and record those steps, and save them for me so I can quickly execute them later, come down here on the status bar, and there's the record button. Go ahead and click on it, and it says, okay, what's the name of this macro, or the steps that we're going to be recording? We can call it filter. And it says, do you have a shortcut key that you want to assign to it? Not right now. Like I said, I want to keep this simple and go over more in detail the macros in a later training video. But for me personally, using the advanced filter option without the macro to help me out, cut down on those steps, it's very annoying. So I'm jumping ahead and showing the macro. If this seems overwhelming to you, go watch my macro training video, then come back and this will make more sense. So I named the macro. I'm going to go ahead, click OK. Now it's going to watch every click that I make. No need to panic, because if I make a mistake and click somewhere where I shouldn't, and I click back, it runs the recorded steps so fast that when you assign the steps to a button, you click on the button, it goes through it, and you won't notice anything. In any case, it's recording all my steps right now, so the first thing I want to do is make sure I click within the database, okay, anywhere within it, and then just do the same thing. Come up here to the Data tab, to the Sort and Filter group, click on Advanced. Now because it's recording every step, I don't want to go ahead and click OK because it's not recording me choosing the list range, the criteria range, the copy to, and so on, so I have to do it all over again. So click on its collapsible dialog box button, click and drag and select the range, hit enter to pop it back open. Go ahead and collapse the criteria range and select the range here. Oops, there we go. Hit enter to pop it back open. I want to copy it to another location. I can click to collapse that and just select the cell right here, hit enter, and then click OK, and then that's it. When I'm done, come back down here. Instead of being a recording button, a little red circle, it's now a blue square, which means stop. Go ahead and click on it. I've recorded all those steps. Okay, I've got that down. Now I want to go ahead and record the steps to erase this and delete it. So I'll have two buttons, one to go ahead and apply the advanced filter and one to go ahead and clear the leftover results down below so I can go ahead and do a new query. So to do that, come back down here, click record, and say this is going to be our clear. Click OK. Then go ahead and click and drag and select the range. Now, I not only want to clear about that much, but you can imagine I've got, what, a total of 24 records here. If my conditions up here produce the result of exactly 24 records, then I want to make sure that I click and drag and select at least 24 rows. In fact, I can go down a bit further. I'm not counting. Hit the delete key on the keyboard, and that's it. Go ahead and click stop, and we're done. Now, all we need to do is to go ahead and assign those two macros to those two buttons. Well, where are the buttons? Well, they're up here on the Developer tab. If you don't see the Developer tab, then go ahead and activate that on the ribbon by going File, down to Options, clicking on Customize the ribbon, and be sure to check the Developer box, okay? Then click OK, and it will show up here. And then on the Developer tab in the Controls group, click on the Insert drop-down arrow, go to Form Controls, and we're looking at the button. Click on it. You get a little cross. Well, I don't. I'm not that angry. You get a little cross right there. Click and drag until you get about, a button yay big. Let go. It opens up and it says, OK, what macro do you want to assign to this button? We've got two. We've got one that filters and one that clears. We want to filter, select it, click okie dokie, and there we go. Now, I don't want the generic name of it, button 1, but if I click off and I'm like, oh, too late, I can't change it. You can see when I hover over it, it looks like it wants to activate it. Just right-click on it. Once you right-click on it, it selects the button. Then you can go ahead and left-click on the button, and then go ahead and click and drag. So you select the text within the button, and then say it's going to filter. Then hit enter. And then click off in a blank area. Now let's go ahead and do one more. Insert to button. Click and drag. About yay big. We want the clear macro. Click OK. Again, if we clicked off, then we can right-click, get the button selected, then click within the button. But since I haven't clicked off, I can just come in here and delete, type in clear, click off in a blank area. Let's take it for a test drive. Let's say we want 1 bedroom and, 1.5. Either one of those will work fine. Go ahead and click filter, click clear. Let's go back to, let's say 3 and 5, filter. Oh, I like that, clear. Be sure to watch my macro training videos so I can really break it down to the basics for you, because like I said here, the advanced filter feature just doesn't really work that well for me if I have to do all those steps and I can't record them into buttons here. You want to get rid of the buttons, go ahead and right-click on them. Once you right-click, then you can go ahead and click on the button, Click on the border, hit the delete key, gets rid of them. And then to delete your macros or to change your macros, again, watch my macro training video. Thanks for watching. Hey, as a quick reminder, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click on me and subscribe to my channel, get notified of the latest videos, and for only $2 a month, you can have access to all my Microsoft Office training videos.